everybody. It's good to see you all here today. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Candy SMR. And today I had a bright idea. So, in some of our past videos, we've been doing a lot of things with makeup, such as makeup math and testing out different kinds of lipstick and lip gloss samples. Well, I was looking around and I realized I have a large assortment of lip balm / lip gloss. And I decided to do a little bit of a quality testing session with the different types of lip balm I own. To help me with my rankings, we're going to take a look at the moisture level. And I have listed either no moisture, a sticky type of moisture sensation, or a smooth moisture sensation. Then we've got one based on appearance, which is based on a matte appearance. Does it look a little flat on the lips? Does it have a glossy appearance? Or does it have a little bit more of a shimmery appearance? We've also got one called residual moisture. So if I were to kiss the page or any surface area, how much moisture is going to be retained on my lips afterwards. And then finally, in this last variable, we've got scent. So if there's any specific kind of scent for each of these types of lip balm, I'm going to write that down as well. And just to make sure that everything is well standardized, I also brought a wet towelette and a dry one to make sure everything's as standardized as possible. So actually, while I'm here, I'm going to wipe my current lip balm off. I'm not going to tell you which one I have on. That's for you all to figure out. So there's the wet one. Just going to dab this dry now. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me introduce you to the different types of lip balm I have right now. I'm going to start with Nivea. This is the one I wear the most. I think I've worn this for many years now, and every time I look around another corner of my place, there's always another Nivea lip balm laying around. I like to get the one in light blue, but they also come in the darker blue container. And when you open it, it's just got a nice looking appearance here. And again, for appearance, we're going to talk about what it looks like on the lips, not necessarily what it looks like inside the tube. But that is Nivea. The second one we're going to look at is actually a set of two. So both of them are labeled as Chapstick Total Hydration. And while one is meant to provide energy, the other one is meant to relax. So I believe the citrus one is known to bring energy, while this one with the flowers is meant to bring relaxation. Little disclaimer, these two are a little older in age, so my data for these two may be a little bit skewed. That's okay. So we've got those. The third one I'm going to show you is one I've had maybe since high school, but this is a newer tube. This is known as Smith's Minted Rose Lip Balm. It's very similar to the Rosebud Salve, but instead of the traditional original rosy scent, this one has a little bit more of a minty scent. And I'm honestly not a big fan of mint scented or flavored things, but this is one of the exceptions. I actually like this level of mintiness. The next one I'd like to show you all is one that I've been wearing a lot as well. This one is based on Ecolip's Mongo Kiss. This one is an organic brand with a peppermint scent. And I believe this one is made with tea tree oil or something like that. But it's called Ecolips Mongo Kiss. And when you open it, it has more of a yellow color to it. But when you apply it on the lips, you'll see what it actually looks like. I kind of like the scent of this one too. Maybe mint has just been growing on me. The next one I want to show you is a new one I got actually. This one's from the brand Higher, or maybe High R. And this one has a cherry scent. It's got a slight tint to it when you take a close look, but I feel like this is one of those luxury lip balms, and it smells so good, y'all. I think this is one of my favorite luxury ones. And just like with the other one, this one is an organic brand as well. So for those who are looking for more organic brands, this may be one type of lip balm to consider if that's interesting. The next one, I believe, is also a type of organic lip balm. This is from the brand Henne or Henne. It's a luxury lip balm, and it comes in this nice little box here. And then when you open the box, the tube itself kind of looks like one from a Wet n Wild lipstick. So you can kind of see what it looks like right here. It looks very fancy, and it has the inscription of the brand right here in silver. And then when I open it, it's got a slight yellow tint. Actually, maybe not so slight. It kind of reminds me of the same tint as shea butter or cocoa butter based products, if you ask me. After that one, we have one more type of lip balm. This one was a little bit more expensive, but I've been hearing about it for so many years, y'all. And finally, I was like, I have to have this. So this is called Balm, and this is so adorable, y'all, because not only does it come with the lip balm in this adorable little tub that is so honey colored and smells incredible, by the way. But if you look at the top and open it, it comes with these beehive shaped applicators. So as we go further into each of the testing products, I'm very excited to show you this one. This one is absolutely adorable. All right. So after we do all of these, I may show this last one. This last one is from Lake Rain. It's called the Almost lipstick. I know this is definitely not a type of lip balm, but I promise you, you will not regret why I decided to show this one at the end of the video. Alright, so in that same order, let me go ahead and write down each of the entries into our data table. So we're going to start off with Nivea. Okay, then we're going to go to chapstick, Total Hydration. And let's start with the one that says Energy. Let's start with that one. Then we'll go to the other chapstick, Total Energy one, Total Hydration, and we'll do the calming one next. So I'll put a C in the parentheses there. We're next going to do the Rosebud Salve looking one. So let me write down Smith's. That's the brand name right there. Then we've got, what was it called? Mongo Kiss. So I'll just put down Mongo. Then we've got High R. I'll just call it High R for now. Then we've got Henne. And if I'm mispronouncing any of these brand names, please let me know. I want to make sure I'm getting them right. This is just my initial perception. So Henne. And then Balm. And as a huge fan of bumblebees and what they have, I'm very excited to see this one especially. Alright, so putting down this data table here, let me go ahead and take a look at Nivea, starting with its moisture. So again, for the moisture, we are looking for, are we feeling no moisture at all? Does the moisture itself feel more sticky, or does it feel a lot more smooth? So as I put this on, let's see what we got here, and we'll also take a look at appearance, residual moisture, and the scent. So taking a look here, bottom lip, and then the top. Okay, so if we take a close look right here in the camera, as I'm biting my lips together, it definitely feels a little more on the smooth sensation there. So I'm going to put down a little check mark for smooth. As for appearance, it does not look matte. It seems to have more of a, it looks more shimmery to me. It kind of looks like, y'all remember the video where I applied baby lips onto my lips? It kind of looks like what baby lips would look like if you apply it onto the lips. It doesn't look like the appearance that Revlon gives, which is more of a smooth, shiny finish. So I'm going to put down a check mark underneath shimmery. Now for residual moisture, let's see how much residual moisture is left if I were to kiss the bottom of the page. Okay, so for Nivea, it looks like in terms of the moisture, let me go ahead and apply this once more just to make sure. It seems very shimmery. So y'all remember that video where I did the baby lips testing versus the Revlon testing, and baby lips appeared very shimmery, almost like a little bit of a bright sparkle finish, while on a Revlon it seemed more like a shiny, smooth, dew-like finish. So with this one, I'm going to write down a check mark for a shimmery appearance, a smooth moisture. It feels very smooth. It doesn't feel sticky at all. And then for residual moisture, let's see, if I were to kiss the page here, it's still high. So this one's really good for moisture retention, if that's something we're all looking for. And as for the scent, I'm not sure if I've ever noticed a major scent on this one. It's very, very subtle. There's something there. It's like very fresh to me. Kind of hard to describe, but it is kind of like a fresh scent. It doesn't feel like any specific scent. It doesn't smell bad at all. It just smells very fresh. If I would say it was more on closer to a soapy kind of scent, but not very soapy. It's like a very small hint of a soapy scent according to my olfactory bulbs. So I will say, I'll say like a subtle soapy scent. So this is what we have so far for the Nivea. In terms of moisture, it has a very smooth moisture to it, which is a good sign. For appearance, it has more of a shimmery appearance instead of a glossy one. For residual moisture, it has high residual moisture, and the scent is slightly soapy. I think maybe my perception may change over time, but I really do like it. Let me go ahead and clean my lips to make sure they're prepared for the next entry. There's the wet one. Okay, and there's the dry one. Okay, so let's now go to the chapstick total hydration, starting with the energy one. Now, again, as a disclaimer, these two are pretty old, so I have a feeling that the moisture and appearance aren't going to be as wow compared to some of the others, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Okay, so here is the total hydration, the energy level one. If I apply it to my lips, this one definitely has a scent though. This definitely wakes me up a little bit. I think because it's so citrusy in scent. This one seems shimmery in appearance too. It does moisturize quite well. It does not feel sticky. It's quite smooth. So for this one, let me go ahead and write a couple of these down on the chart. Alright, so again, chapstick total hydration energy. The moisture level is definitely on the smoother side. The appearance seems more on the shimmery side for me. Residual moisture, let's give that a little check here. Oh, wait a minute. This one's a little lower on residual moisture compared to Nivea, so I'm going to check mark that. And the scent is very citrusy, so I'll just write down a citrus-like scent. Alright, now let's check it out with the other chapstick total hydration brand, but instead of the energy one, we're going to do the calming one. So I'm just going to go back to our baseline lips and apply the calming chapstick total hydration. This one feels like it reminds me of an incense burner with a hint of lavender. Okay, now with this one, even though I think I bought both of these at the same time, this one still feels a little different from the other one. And again, this may be partially just due to age. But in terms of the moisture, I'm feeling a little bit more friction with this one. So I'm going to write down slightly sticky with this one, which is quite interesting. It's not that sticky, but it's enough that it felt like it was distinguished from the Energy Chapstick Total Hydration, which is very interesting. The appearance in itself, there's a little bit of shimmer, but definitely not as much. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say it has a bit of a matte finish to it. Residual moisture, let's see what that one is like. Definitely low residual moisture. So low. That's one way it matches the other Total Hydration chapstick. And as for the scent, I said it reminded me of lavender incense. Yeah. And again, this one might be partially due to age, but I'm still very interested that it had some slight differences to the other Total Hydration chapstick. Who knew? Anyway, let's take a look at Smith's now. This is definitely one of the thicker lip balms in terms of the substance itself. Most lip balms have a little bit of a thin layering to it, but every so often, especially if they're in a tube that you squeeze out, then it's more likely that it's, how can I compare this? Almost like Vaseline, I would say. Just a bit of a thicker, heavier substance to it compared to other types of lip balm and substances. So let's take a look at Smith's Minted Rose Lip Balm. Very similar to Rosebud Salve, which kind of reminds me of Vaseline. So I'm just going to give this a tiny little squeeze here, just as so, and just apply it to my lips here. Now this one, let's take a close look at this one. So in terms of the moisture, is there no moisture? Is this a sticky or friction moisture or a smooth one? This one's definitely smooth, without a doubt. So I'll put a check mark there. Now, as for the appearance, this one looks a lot like the appearance of the Revlon gloss compared to some of the other types of lip balm. So I am going to put down glossy for this one. So glossy, going down, 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 down. Residual moisture, let me give a quick kiss on the page and see what we have here. Yeah, not too much friction on this one, so I'll put down it has a high residual moisture and the scent is very minty. I can almost feel the mintiness on my lips, like not like a burning sensation, but a slight spice, a little bit of spunk right there. Fascinating, isn't it? So the next one we're going to try out is the Mongo Kiss. Reminds me a lot of the tea tree oil soap. I think they have different types of scents, if you ask me. But let's find out, shall we? Okay, so again, here is the Mongo Kiss. It's got that nice yellow tint to it. This one's a peppermint scent, so my hypothesis is that it may be similar in scent to the Smith's Rosebud one. But let's find out. Alright, just going to roll this up here and apply it to the lips, just as so. Alright, let's take a closer look at this one. This one definitely smells more like tea tree oil than peppermint in my opinion, but that just might be based on my memory. So let's take a look at the moisture level. Does it feel like there's no moisture? Does it feel sticky or does it feel smooth? This one definitely feels like it's more on the smooth side for moisture. So I'm going to start on this quadrant here, go down, and check mark for appearance. This one seems more on the shimmery side, so I'm going to go down, 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 down. Go to the shimmery one. Residual moisture. Let's just give a kiss on the page here. A little on the lower side for this one, interesting. Check that. And since it reminds me of tea tree oil. Alright. Let me go ahead and simplify this and draw a couple of vertical lines so we can really see the differences here. So going down, 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 down. If there's a little bit of smudging, that is okay. We are just drafting our data and saving it for later. And down, 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 down. Okay, that looks a little more organized, doesn't it? Okay, what is our next one here? It looks like we have the high R next. That's the cherry looking one. It looks like one of the luxury lip balms, if you ask me. And it is also organic. So I'm just going to clean my lips here. Go back to that baseline there. And it's got a very slight tint on the actual substance. And I really like this red color on the packaging for the brand. And this one smells amazing. I think this is one of my favorite lip balm scents. Now for this one, it has a slight appearance to it, but it looks a little bit more matte if you ask me, especially if we compare it to some of the appearances of the other types of lip balm. They kind of looked like baby lips. This one doesn't even look as shimmery as baby lips, and it definitely doesn't look as glossy as Revlon. So for this one, let's take a look back to the beginning. So we said for appearance, we said this one had more of a matte finish. So I'll check that one off. For moisture, this one has a slight stickiness to it. It's kind of smooth, but not as smooth as the others, ironically enough. So I'm going to go down and select sticky here. For residual moisture, let's take a quick look as well. Oh, this is low in residual moisture. And then for scent, it was a cherry scent. Let's take a look at our second to last lip balm. We're going to look at the Henna, and this one is a type of luxury lip balm. And I already tried this one, but it'll be nice to get some actual data. I really love what the cover of this one looks like. It looks very fancy. And I like the silver inscription written down on it too. It's got that cocoa butter yellow tint to to it. So let's see what it's like on the lips. Okay. Interesting. So for this one, it's definitely a type of luxury lip balm. And that being said, it doesn't feel as moisturizing as some of the others. It still has some moisture to it, but it seems to be a little bit more on the sticky side relatively. It's not sticky itself, but compared to some of the others, it's not as smooth, if you know what I mean. But it does have a little bit of moisture, so I'm not going to highlight none with the check mark either. So I'll put down sticky for henna. For appearance, I would say matte. It's a bit of a matte finish. Residual moisture. Let's see what we have here. Not too much residual moisture. There's a little bit of friction needed. So I'll say this is on the lower side. And scent, it has a little hint of a cocoa butter scent based on my perception. So I'll write down cocoa butter. Okay, we have one more type of lip balm to go over for today. Okay, so here is our last one, the Bee Balm. I think this was the most expensive lip balm I purchased, but I love the way this one smells, and I think it's really cute with the applicators. So I'll go ahead and unscrew this. Oh, get a whiff of that. It's a nice honey-based scent, and I love its little tube. As a matter of fact, I don't know if y'all remember this book, but back when I was in school and I used to go to those book fairs, I once got this book called Miss Popularity. And I think there was a sequel of that called Miss Popularity Goes Camping. And even though the main character was kind of flawed and everything, I remember explicitly this one scene where she had honey pot lip gloss. And the way they described how shimmery it was, how moisturizing it was, the color, and how everything from it popped. As soon as I heard about this Bee Balm, I automatically went back to my childhood with this one. It reminded me so much of Honey Pot. So let me go ahead and open the top, get out one of these little beehive-shaped applicators, and apply this to my lips. So this one's really cool. You just put it into the balm, give it a little bit of a twist. You don't need too much of the substance, honestly. And then just apply here at the bottom. I'm just going to get a little bit more to apply at the top. Wow. This one's very moisturizing and it smells so good. And they come in different types of scents as well, including the honey scent. I think they also come in strawberry and cherry, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. I need to check the website again. But look how cute these little applicators are. I think they're absolutely adorable. Alright, so anyway, let's go back to our table. So, I would definitely say the moisture for this one is on the smooth side. Appearance. It doesn't look that shimmery. It looks a little shimmery though, but not as much as the others, so I will probably say a little bit more on the or is it glossy? Now you know what, I'm just going to say shimmery. Residual moisture, quick kiss here. Oh yeah, we still got some residual moisture. So I'll say this on the high side, and this is a beautiful honey scent. Okay, so let's take a quicker look at this chart here and see if there is a top type of lip balm I have here. So in terms of appearance, of whether it's glossy or shimmery, that doesn't really matter to me too much. I guess for aesthetics, I may prefer something more on the shimmery side, but it doesn't really matter to me. But what matters a little bit more is the high level of residual moisture. So based off that alone, we've got Balm, Smith's, and Nivea. That's one thing that's important to me. In terms of moisture, I'd want something more on the smooth side. So of these three, Nivea is smooth, Smith's is smooth, and Balm is smooth. So that leaves these three as the top three contender as well. Let's now take a look at the scents. So with Nivea, this had a little bit more of a subtle soap scent, which is fine. Smith's had a mint type of scent, and Balm had a honey scent. I definitely liked the scent of the Balm the best, and the fact that they came with the little applicators is just beyond adorable. The slight downside is that, in my opinion, I think Balm is a little more expensive than some of the other types of lip balm, but if you're looking for like a luxury type of lip balm, I think it's really nice to have. And in terms of something more of an everyday lip balm, Nivea is the way to go, at least for me. That may explain why I always have one in every corner of my place. So I will say, in terms of the most practicality, I'll give it to Nivea. But in terms of something a little bit more fancy, if you want to treat yourself, then I would definitely say Balm as well. All right, so we've got our top contender based off my perception and my rankings. And even though Nivea may not be the most luxurious type of lip balm, I really like the smoothness of it. It does have that shimmery type of appearance, and it moisturizes very well. And also it has a little bit of SPF, which is a nice little type of bonus. Now with this one, I don't think this one is organic, so that is one thing to take into consideration. But if that's not as important, then it's still really good to consider. And it's got a really nice case as well, and it's practical for travel wherever you are. All right, now before I go, I want to show you one more thing, okay? I'm going to show you the Almost lipstick from the brand Lake Rain, and it's also called Dark Honey. Speaking of bees and bee balm and lip care. So it comes in this small dark box with some hints of a gold trim, and I've honestly been wearing this to work so many times, because what's very nice about this one is that it takes your natural lip shade, okay, and it just slightly alters it, so it's a slightly darker tint, but it's meant to look flattering for your skin tone and your skin undertones. At least that's what I read. The container itself comes in this silver tube, so it looks kind of fancy, and it has the brand name inscripted right here. I know it may be a little hard to see with the reflection, but it's there. And then you just open it, and I'll show you the color. It kind of matches the color of my top. It's this deep maroon tint. And then when I apply it to my lips, what I love about it is that it retains the contrast between my upper lip, which is darker, and my lower lip. while giving it a little bit more of a berry undertone that feels flattering, at least to me. So I've been wearing this all the time to work, and I usually don't wear too much makeup to work, but I really like this one. So there's the bottom. Okay, look at that already. I think it's absolutely lovely. It already kind of goes with the top. It kind of brings out my natural blush features as well. It retains the contrast of the darker upper lip and the lighter bottom lip, at least in a subtle trace. And it's got a bit of a nice scent to it. It's kind of like a sophisticated, slightly smoky scent to it. I better get some lunch soon. My stomach is starting to growl. But anyway, that was the other thing I wanted to show you, because I think it really brings out the features very well. So if you're looking for something that can enhance your features while also offering us a little bit of amount of play without it looking more like a lipstick, I do recommend this one, the Dark Honey from Lake Rain. Okay, well, thank you all so much for attending our lip balm testing session. When we come back, I'm going to try on a little bit more makeup as well, do a couple of more storytelling sessions, rambles, you name it. And if you're looking for any kinds of requests, feel free to put them in the comments down below, and I may consider them. Alright, but thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.